Hello and welcome to our preview of the Sunday's final here at the Sony Open Tennis. My name's Jason Goodall. I'm here with Robbie Koenig. And what a match we've got in prospect. Spain's David Ferrer against Britain's Andy Murray. And it makes very interesting reading, Robbie, when you look at their head-to-head record. Murray has dominated on any surface other than clay, whereas, of course, the Spaniard has dominated on his favourite surface. Why is that?
Well, I think the big thing there is the movement. Of course, Murray moves so much better, he's so much sure of his footing on a hard court than what he is on a clay court, and it's vice versa. It's exactly the same for Ferrer. He understands the movement on a clay court so much better than what Andy does, and of course movement is such a big part of the game these days, and of course that plays into Murray's hands. And I think the variety that Murray possesses is so much more effective on a hard court than what it is on a clay court. On a clay court you can be a little bit more one-dimensional, just put a lot of balls in play, but on a hard court you can't. And Murray has those weapons in his arsenal whereby he can hurt Ferrer with variety, Jace.
And of course Murray is perhaps a little more aggressive, slightly easier to shorten the points on a hard court than it is on a clay court. So of course it's important for Murray then to take an aggressive position up the court, and one or two have criticised him this week and in Indian Wells for being a little too passive. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. He certainly didn't play his best tennis in Indian Wells, and he's got better as the weeks progressed. Here, I thought his last two sets in his semi-final match against Gasquet were outstanding. Stepping up the court, playing nice and aggressively, defending when he needed to, but I think it's imperative when he takes on Ferrer. The moment he gets stuck too far back in the court, he'll allow Ferrer to impose himself on Murray, and that can cause Andy problems, because of course when Ferrer's forehand's firing, then that's when the Scot gets himself into a bit of trouble.
He's such a disciplined shot maker, isn't he, Ferrer? We saw in a couple of his matches here in Miami, the backhand goes cross court 80-90% of the time. It's the forehand that he tends to try and do the damage with. Will he be allowed to do that against Murray, who of course defends well and then has the ability to turn defence into attack?
Well, I think Murray's going to try and counter that by using his backhand slice up the line to Ferrer's forehand. And then Ferrer's not as effective as playing out of the right court as what he is the left court. So once Murray opens up the court with that backhand slice up the line, he can then go to Ferrer's weaker wing, which is the backhand. And once he gets Ferrer on the move, again, back to the movement thing, I think that's when Murray can start to dominate proceedings. So that shot's going to be key, Jace.
And of course, when Murray does start to move up the court, it allows him more options, doesn't it? We know Ferrer defends exceptionally well, but it's difficult to do over a long period of time against a higher ranked opponent when you're consistently rushed.
Yeah, and I think, again, the surface will help him get more penetration through the court, and you can only defend so long. Murray's got the transition game as well. If he needs to finish points off at the net, he's more than happy to do that. Again, he did that pretty well against Cilic towards the tail end of their match and against Gasquet.
If there's one key to victory as far as Ferrer is concerned, what will that be?
I think he's got to play really good aggressive tennis, and at the same time Murray has to be passive, because I think that'll allow him to then impose himself on Murray, frustrate Murray, outmaneuver him, and then use the forehand to throw in the devastating blows.
And if there's a key to victory for Murray, what will that be?
You're asking me a lot of tough questions, but I think important that Murray does exactly the same. He's got to assert his authority over Ferrer, use variety, that's important, and make it a physical contest, because I think on a hard court I'm going to favour Murray every time as far as movement goes over Ferrer.
Of course, the last time they met was at the Championships last year, and that match was one of the best of the tournaments. 4 exceptionally tight sets of the very highest quality. So of course we're hoping for more of the same this time around. Please join us for it at 11:30 local time. Bye for now.